Hello and welcome to California Bountiful. I'm your host, Aubrey Aquino, and for this episode, we've headed to the mountains. I'm in Alturas, California at the landmark historic Niles Hotel. This is where the West still lives. So let's go ahead and kick things off with some ag therapy in the form of therapeutic horsemanship and happy trails. Therapeutic horsemanship is being used as a unique means to enrich the lives of children and adults with physical, cognitive, and emotional disabilities.
We have the fortune to be able to use the horse as our partner, as our equine partner for our riders. So we have been serving Tulare Kings and Fresno counties for 39 years. We serve kids with physical, mental, and cognitive disabilities, and like I said, as well as military veterans.
Happy Trails Riding Academy is the only fully accredited equine-assisted therapeutic riding center in the San Joaquin Valley between Bakersfield and Modesto.
All right, Miss Erin, come on over here and let's greet your horse. Say good afternoon, Toby.
Hello, Toby.
They're learning basic riding skills, but with that, a little bit of a twist. So the horse is the only piece of equipment that moves like us through space. So we're able to put the rider on the back of the horse, and all of the movement of the horse is transferred right into the rider. So riders with physical disabilities, we're able to strengthen different muscles, work things that maybe you're not able to work as being a non-traditional facility. We are definitely a part of agriculture. We have to feed our horses. We have 11 acres of pasture that we have to take care of. We are part of all the new groundwater regulations that are going on.
Learning how to be a good partner to a horse or how to ride a horse, stop, start, and steer, move it from place to place, also while getting all of the physical benefits of riding a horse. It's a very physical activity. There's also an emotional connection to the horse. There's a partnership there, and there's also a partnership that comes from interacting with the rest of the students in the group as well as the volunteers that are in the class as well. For those people who are motivated by horses, it's pretty empowering to establish and build a relationship with something that can weigh 10 to 15 times what you do, that doesn't speak and doesn't communicate the way you and I do, and that doesn't necessarily seek out our company in the wild. If you look behind me, you may see some horses that aren't crowding the fence. They're happy to be out there by themselves. So the horses that we have out here are very special in that when they're called into a class to go to work, they're happy to be there. They're excited to connect with whoever it is. They don't necessarily seek it out. We do like for them to have their pasture time when they're not in class. But having that time to connect with a horse that, again, they're capable of so much, they're so much bigger, they're so much stronger, they're so much more powerful than we are. But to establish a connection with an animal like that, without speech, without any verbalization, it's tremendously empowering.
I was born and raised around them, and I don't know, it's just something that me and my family do, and I love it. And then coming here at Happy Trails, I just fell in love with the place. I fell in love with the staff and the team, and I just knew from my past experience I wanted to be part of them. It's really hard when you get told when you're very young that you have a very strong disability like mine, which is Stupid syndrome or FG syndrome, and then you feel so down and alone, and you feel like you're really not part of anything, and then you come out here and you just feel completely normal. And being with all these horses around here, they just make you feel normal.
Happy Trails has 18 horses that come in every size, shape, make, and model. They're not rescues, but rather retired from previous careers.
A lot of quarter horses, which are a pretty common breed in this area. We have some paints. We have a really tall, strong, heavy horse, and then two smaller versions of her, two pony versions of her, as well as a handful of other kind of more unique breeds to this area. We can select a horse based on their temperament. We can also select a horse based on their size and shape, and we can also select a horse for a student based on the kind of movement or input they're going to deliver to a student.
And you're just gonna go all the way around.
For a child that is perhaps in a wheelchair or is in a special ed class full-time where they're not working with a lot of other peers that look like them, they have an opportunity to come out here and do something that it's inherently risky, it's exciting, it's empowering, it's a new skill, it's outside, and a lot of their peers may not be doing something like this. A lot of their peers may not have the opportunity to ride a horse or work as a partner with a horse.
And they're quick to point out their mission is made possible by a stable of dedicated volunteers.
Volunteers are critical to the work that we do. We are a staff of 8 or 9, and we will see probably 65 or 70 people a week out here. We cannot do the work that we do. We cannot offer safe services or successful experiences for our students without volunteers.
I consider them a second family to me. Even my family does, and they're very grateful, and I'm very grateful to them, and I owe them everything.
We like to see people leave here happier than when they came. So the horses are a great vehicle to do that.
Now, your bountiful landscapes.
It is officially summer season, my favorite time of the year. It's time to think about curb appeal. What's the first thing that people see? They look at your lawn. So you want to make sure that it's properly hydrated so it stays green all summer long. You have a few options to think of. Number one, go around and assess your sprinkler heads, because over time, sprinkler heads get buried, they become broken, and then they don't water correctly, inefficiently, or they don't water at all. Until now, to change out a sprinkler head, you've had to dig a big muddy hole, risk cutting into pipes or wires, but I have a genius new way called the Cap-It that's a sprinkler riser, where you'll simply unscrew the top of your sprinkler head, pop on the extension, pop on the base, then you are good to go. Nice thing is you can stack these Cap-It risers on top of each other. They work with most pop-ups, and they keep all of the equipment underground completely intact. That is a great solution to fixing those broken sprinkler heads. Another thing is a smart hose timer. So the beautiful thing is you put that hose out there with a sprinkler head on top, and then that smart hose timer, you can set a schedule, you can control it remotely. Say it's going to be extra hot that day, you can water it twice. It reads the weather and does an override during rainy days. And then of course there's the good old-fashioned way. Get a really good durable hose and get out there and water it by hand and have a little peace out there while you're keeping your yard green all summer long.
Straight ahead, the apple of my ribeye. We get cooking with Chef Aaron at Ranch 45. And next up, get ready to cheese for a special Central Valley goat cheeseboard. California Bountiful is brought to you by the California Farm Bureau.
Home is where you start the day. Out the door, you're on your way. All the places you wanna go. Maybe you should take it slow. There's so much to care for in your life. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Golden Sky Country Music Festival coming to Sacramento, October 14th and 15th with Eric Church.
All you gotta do is put a drink in my hand.
John Party. Maren Morris, Parker McCullum, and Jordan Davis, Lady Wilson, Winona Judd, and more. Golden Sky Country Music Festival at Discovery Park in downtown Sacramento. Passes starting at $10 down at GoldenSkyFestival.com.
Every Thursday in downtown Sacramento, Bodega Days at Cesar Chavez Plaza.
We come here and there's always a new food truck to try. I love the heroes. Today there's the Filipino food that just looks so good. I would come back every week just to see if there's a new food truck.
Stroll through the park.
We can get a pastrami grilled cheese, lobster grilled cheese, original grilled cheese, surf and turf.
And enjoy the weekly market.
You got some really good local produce. You got some really good things for lunch. I think there's something for everyone here.
Only at downtown Sacramento's Bodega Days. Welcome back. What do you get when you pair Rocky Oak's goat cheese with the Central Valley's executive chef from Trelio Food and Wine? Well, let's find out.
So we're going to start with our first cheese, which will be the most simple heritage. They're Gouda-style cheese, from goat milk aged style. Simple, seasoned and olive oil style placement. So we're going to cut some slices of this, like you would normally do for a cheese plate. All right, 3 of those. Let's place it over here. And for this, I kind of really like a fruit kind of thing. Gouda goes really well. So what we've done at the restaurant is we've roasted some just red flame grapes and seasoned them with a little olive oil and salt. And we're just gonna finish it off with a little chopped herbs before we place them. Each of the grapes, so you eat it with the cheese, actually has some herb to it. So we have some saba that we use actually the same grapes cooked down with a little bit of balsamic. And we'll kind of do that over all of it, just not too much. Our next placement, we're gonna use the airless, which is a hoop style cheese. Kind of a softer texture, has a little crumbliness to it, but a very kind of fresher pressed cheese. We'll take a couple slices of this. And here we have some Enzo olive oil, our local olive oil company. And we have some Buddha's hand little fingers in there that we actually carbonic macerated and fermented inside the oil, which creates a totally different type of terpene characteristic to the oil. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of that on the cheese. And it's very floral, it makes the olive oil very floral. A little bit of sea salt, just to bring up the salt level, kind of to match to bring the oil up. And then we have some Kampot red long pepper, which is a type of pepper, but it's very floral smelling, almost like Christmas spice, baking spices. We're gonna put a little bit of that on there. We're gonna add some sliced Kalamata olives, some cucumber, and then we have some minced shallot. And we're gonna add a little bit of chopped chive. And then we have some fresh mint and dill. We'll quickly chop up here. Add that to it. Cut a lemon real quick. We'll squeeze a lemon without seeds. And the olives should have enough salt to finish the dish. A little bit of Enzo olive oil. And we'll mix that up. We'll spoon a little bit of that onto our plate. Kind of over here where the more savory cheese is. And then what we're gonna do there is add in a little of our legacy goat cheese, a feta style goat cheese. Nice, a softer, fresher version of that dry feta you sometimes get in the grocery store, but also made with goat cheese. And we're just gonna kind of cut big squares of this just to put over top of that. There we go. Kind of put those right over top. A little extra drizzle of olive oil. What we have here is a little sherry reduction. We have a lot of acidity, some saltiness, so just a touch of a sweetness. And this is just cream sherry that has been reduced down with a little bit of sherry vinegar until it's a syrup. And then finally, we have some pears that we've cooked in port wine using some star anise, cinnamon, and citrus rind that we're gonna do our final little preparation here. And one of my favorites, so we'll add that in. These are kind of a sweet, peary, fruity flavor. And then to go with that, we have Weebs, which is everyone's probably heard of Humboldt Fog, but this is an ash rind style goat cheese. Age, I'm gonna cut about a third of it. See a nice, ooh, very runny today. A little hard center. There we go, getting runny. We'll put that face up there. And then just a touch of sea salt to finish that one off. All the crackers and a composed cheese plate, 2 savories, 2 sweets. We have the Humboldt Fog with port wine poached pears, Greek cucumber salad with the feta style goat cheese, and then with the soft hoop style, we have a little bit of figured citrus olive oil with Kampot pepper and sea salt, and then roasted grapes, herbs with our Gouda style. Enjoy.
Still to come, shaken not stirred, a drink recipe you won't want to miss. But first, Ranch 45 shows us how they bring the flavor to Brant beef. You're watching California Bountiful.
Need someone to be there, knowing they'll always care. Someone who lights your way each and every day. Doing what you love is everything, so we can celebrate the joy it brings. There's so much to protect in our lives. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
The California Farm Bureau. has protected the diverse agricultural interests in the Golden State for over a century. As part of the California Farm Bureau, you'll add your voice to the combined strength of over 34,000 farmers, ranchers, and families through our state. That means more connections, more influence, and more opportunity to fight for the issues that impact your life. With your support behind us, California Farm Bureau's robust government affairs, federal policy and farm pact, and legal teams work tirelessly to advocate at all levels of government, protecting and promoting our shared way of life. Together, California Farm Bureau and our members are standing up for farmers, ranchers, and families throughout the Golden State every day, working to cultivate a bountiful future for all Californians.
All right, let's head south to San Diego, where Chef Aaron at Ranch 45 in Solana Beach adds his own flavor to make a juicy ribeye.
So we're gonna do a dry aged ribeye. It's dry aged all our own beef here on property. Generously seasoned with salt and pepper. If you don't have pepper mill, you can usually just get whatever pepper you like to use on your steak. I don't really do much besides just salt and pepper. I'm just one of those people, I let it, pull it out of the refrigerator, I season it, and I'm ready to go. One thing that we're really proud of is we like to use as much as the whole animal as possible. So this is the renderings beef tallow from all of the trimmings of the fat when we're doing all the butchering. And so I'm literally gonna use that as my oil to cook the steak in. And we'll just put that down. And let it start searing. And then in the pan in front, we have a little red wine sauce, slowly reducing. That's gonna be one of the sauce for the dish. So I'm gonna sear until this first side gets nice and golden, about 2 to 3 minutes. Then we're gonna flip it over, and then we're gonna put it in a 425-degree oven for about 10 minutes. We've also made some beef tallow dinner rolls. So think of a traditional dinner roll. When you're using butter or oil or whatever else that fat ingredient, instead of those ingredients, we've used the beef tallow. So we melt the beef tallow and incorporate that into it. So it gives a little bit of beefiness to the roll and just a really nice airy feel to it. And we'll also be serving a little bit of arugula and a lemon vinaigrette. The best season for citrus fruit is in winter, when right after that first cold snap, when it gets cold enough, just right before freezing. That's what really sets the flavor of lemons, oranges, all the great citrus fruit. All right, so we're gonna dress the arugula, a little bit of cracked pepper, a little bit of Malden sea salt, and a little bit of the lemon vinaigrette. And we'll finish with the red wine sauce. And there you have it. Brant beef, 35-day dry-aged ribeye with arugula, fries, and tallow dinner rolls, house-made butter.
Now time for a Bountiful Beverage.
I'm Evelyn. I'm the lead bartender here at Grange. I'm gonna make you our new Melly. I have a coconut washed wheelhouse gin. So we do the coconut wash with hot coconut oil and the gin. It is from a local distillery just in Rancho. I have fresh grapefruit juice, also from Twin Peaks Orchard. Gonna take a little bit of honey, a little bit of oat milk, actually. Throw some basil in there. I'm gonna shake it up. This one's a little bit more tropical. Niu Meli, meaning honey coconut in Hawaiian. Throw it on some crushed ice. Then we have a grapefruit twist. a little bit of basil, some ground nutmeg right on top.
Coming up, farmers and chefs working together in support of a local food system for the Truckee-Tahoe Basin.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Are you looking to uncover more of the bounty of California's rich, diverse, and delicious food and wine scene? Then it's time to get social with us. Find even more great content from farm to fork and everything in between, like recipes behind the scenes on food and wine tours, plus useful info on what's good for you and so much more. Join an engaging community of like-minded foodies and tell us what great story ideas you have for us, too. So what are you waiting for? Get in on the conversation now. Find, follow, and talk to us on social at CaBountiful. Welcome back. It's a collaborative effort to support a local food hub delivering fresh local goods to the Truckee-Tahoe Basin. Located in California's Olympic Valley, Everline Resort and Spa offers a mountain getaway to North Lake Tahoe. The year-round destination is surrounded by Sierra Nevada scenery and features several on-site restaurant options. Wade Eibel is Everline's executive chef.
We're always looking for ways to tell a story with the food and showcase what's special about this area. And these producers coming up from the foothills, Grass Valley and Nevada City area is a chance for us to kind of tell a story, their story, through food and add some value to the experience that our guests have when they're on property.
This is where the Tahoe Food Hub is proving to be an invaluable resource.
They're a nonprofit and they're not in this to make money, they're in this to support businesses and local producers. And so they're filling a void that is difficult to fulfill in that they're visiting farms directly to pick up.
We got an opportunity to learn more about the Tahoe Food Hub and its support of local agriculture during an event at the resort meant to boost farmer-chef and buyer relationships.
We support small farms within a 150-mile radius of Truckee. Most of our farming community is in Nevada City and Grass Valley, also in Lincoln and Auburn. And then we work with another local food hub in Esparto that works with food hubs in the Cape Valley, so Winters and Ginda and that whole area, like Full Belly Farm and River Dog. It allows us to expand our offerings beyond our initial farming community to create a year-round robust marketplace.
A top priority for the Food Hub is also promoting the importance of sustainable food production and increasing access to healthy, locally grown food.
Getting back to understanding where our food comes from starts in a restaurant, because you go to a restaurant and you see a menu and you think, oh, that's in season because it's available. But what we're able to do is tell that story and explain the seasonality and what grows local in our region. Everything is harvested to order in what we do.
She explains not only does a local food system increase food security, but also allows farmers to just focus on farming.
95% of the farmers that we work with are in our counties of Nevada and Placer County, like we are in the basin. There's a big mountain range in the middle, so it is hard for farmers to get up and over the pass on a regular basis to meet this market need, and there is a market need here. It allows them to spend more time on the farm, growing the food, creating a viable business, and we do all that selling and distribution for them.
The growing the food is really the easy part. It's the finding a place for it to go that is, not where That's not what we got into farming for, is marketing. We got into farming because we really love growing food.
A big benefit for the farmers who can keep their hands in the dirt.
Our farm is Foothill Roots Farm, and we are located in Meta Vista, California. So we grow pretty much, we like to say, everything from arugula to zucchini. So for the Tahoe Food Hub specifically, we grow lots of mixed greens, lettuce mix, head lettuce, kale, chard, lots of fresh herbs, cilantro, basil. In the summertime, we'll have tomatoes and eggplant. So it kind of runs the gamut through the season.
Antonio Garza of Feeding Crane Farm in Penn Valley has a deep appreciation for the Food Hub connection too.
We grow all kinds of mixed vegetables, all certified organic, broccoli, lettuce, green onions. During the summer, we grow all kinds of delicious tomatoes, peppers, melons, along with probably 20 other different crops. Part of also what makes our food special is that by keeping it local, we can guarantee its freshness, that everything is not more than a day or two from when it was picked. Spends less time in my refrigerator, so it can spend more time in the customer's refrigerator.
And the full circle moment is when the people behind the farm to fork process can connect.
Just I'd say the spice of life. Being out on your farm, working with your crew, it can be in a lot of ways isolating. You're out there by yourself or with just a few other people for a lot of long hours, and so having other farmers to commiserate with, chefs to talk to, people who are excited about your food, brings a lot of energy back to us as farmers to get that feedback from people that what we're doing is actually really important to them.
To meet the producers, talk to them, put a face to the name, and then be able to visit their farms and their production facilities, whatever it is, and put a place to the name, to the product, and to really just bring it all together. It's in this country, it's so easy to go to the grocery store and a tomato's a tomato and a cucumber's a cucumber, but when you have a cucumber in your hand and you know that Pat grew this and his wife's name is Patty, and they know my wife and my children and have those relationships, it makes what you're buying and putting on the plate for the guest that much more interesting and special. It adds depth and it adds value to what we're doing here as artisans and producers.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode from Niles Hotel in Alturas, Modoc County, California. Don't forget, you can always find us online at CaliforniaBountiful.com. Until next time, I'm Aubrey Aquino. Take care and stay tuned for more California Bountiful.